Kundalini awakening, which is basically there's this energy at the base of the spine that we can awaken. It's very connected with our sexual energy, and as it awakens, we transform and we heal. And things were happening that I could not explain, like psychic opening, all kinds of things. She talked about there was all kinds of dysfunctions with the matriarchy, right? When we had the matriarchal dominant societies, it's not like there were no problems, right?
Because women are shifting so much into what used to be predominantly male roles. Do you feel that there's also a big reason why women are losing touch with their feminine side?
A lot of what's been happening is a lot of women have become unfortunately a version of toxic masculinity. So everybody's talking about toxic masculinity and not understanding that, again, it affects all of us. So in Tantra, there's this philosophy of everything is a pathway to the divine, right? So we don't separate out the darkness from the divinity. We go into it. We go into it with love, right? And by doing that, we're able to transform it. So there's this huge loss of the feminine, okay, for men and for women. And this doesn't get talked about, and this is so huge. And it would really bring so much harmony into our world if this could start to be understood. Like you hear people say good vibes only. I'm sure you've heard that, right? Okay, so that's BS. And that's
Hey guys, welcome. Firstly, apologies for the length of this video. Today I'm excited to share with you my incredible experience spending an entire day with a sexual intimacy coach. This video's got everything in it. It's got information, it's got meditation, it's got profound spiritual conversations. It's packed with everything, and I had the best time shooting this entire vlog. This is the first video of a series in which there'll be multiple videos of the same experience of the same day. I truly hope you guys find this as engaging and as enlightening as I did. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey Ariel!
Hello.
How are ya?
Good, come on in.
Let's
Welcome.
go!
So come on in.
Hey guys, welcome back to Explore with Ash. Today, as you guys can see, I'm indoors. I'm not gallivanting outside anywhere. I have a very special guest with me today. Meet Ariel. She's a sexual intimacy coach. Welcome Ariel, welcome on Explore with Ash.
Thank you so much for coming all the way here. It's so nice to have you.
It's an absolute pleasure. I've been wanting to do this vlog for a very, very long time, Ariel, and we spoke and I was really curious. I was really excited. So yeah, welcome Ariel. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about this?
Pretty good. It's exciting to be able to share like this. I absolutely love educating people, so a big part of my work is teaching. So today I just get to have a great time answering questions and sharing more about this work, and hopefully reaching a lot more people and demystifying the world of Tantra, sacred sexuality.
I love it, demystifying, because this is still a very hidden world, you know. There's so many layers to it that a lot of people still don't know. There's still so many things to explore about this profession, this art that you're involved in for more than a decade now, I would say. And that's the reason I kind of am curious to know more about it, because as you were talking to me just some time back before we started filming, there's a lot of taboo around it still. Even this subject of Tantra, about this subject of sexual intimacy and healing through using and harnessing your sexual energy. So basically our aim today with this video, guys, is to sort of debunk a lot of myths out there which are associated with Tantra and with these kind of practices. to learn about these practices more, and also we are going to delve into it deeper. Basically, we're going to do all these exercises, we're going to do the healing, we're going to do the different forms of meditations, we might probably do some games and quizzes, and we are definitely doing a rapid fire as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, Ariel. So Ariel has also recently started her own application, her own phone app, the Alchemy of Love.
Alchemy of Love app. That's right. You can get it in the Apple and Google Play stores, and it is really exciting because I've done this work a lot one-on-one and in groups and at retreats for so many years now. And there's lots of people that may not be comfortable to come in and see somebody in person. Like, it is very sensitive work, as you were saying. It's something that is very taboo for a lot of people. And so to be able to offer something that's easy, that people can access and they can go on their own journey at home by themselves or with their partner, I feel like it's just going to allow this work to reach so many more people, and just, it's so easy. I mean, I love apps, so.
Yeah, everyone loves apps.
Right? It's so easy.
So congratulations for the application. I was browsing through the app, guys, and the app looks amazing. It has everything in it that you guys would need to sort of navigate through the structure of the program and the trainings. There's a podcast, which is really interesting. You should really listen to that podcast, guys. I'm going to link that below as well. The podcast is amazing. It gets really fun, and it has everything from, information to entertainment to awareness and everything. So I love the application already. And so congratulations for that as well. And how did you come up, by the way, with the name Alchemy? Like, how did you come up with the name Alchemy of Love?
You know what? That's a great question. I actually have no idea where Alchemy of Love came from, except that it's what we do.
Yeah.
So alchemy is changing something from one state to another, and we're working with the energy of love. So when we're talking about sacred sexuality, we're talking about this beautiful creative life force energy that moves through all things, and it moves through us. And when we're working with it in a conscious healing way, we're really channeling love. We're channeling this beautiful, sacred, creative energy, and you can use it to heal, you can use it to transform, you can use it to improve relationships. So I think it just conveys what the work's really all about and helps people get it, hopefully, in the title.
100%. No, yeah, like it's as you said, so beautifully articulated. Like, it's so much more than just the sexual intimacy coaching part, because those are three words which can be easily misunderstood by a lot of people.
Yeah, so like the main switch that has to happen for a lot of people is starting to understand their sexuality holistically, right? And even this term holistic sexuality, like, just sit with that for a minute and think about it, and see where that lands with you, because that's a huge change in mindset for most people. So that's where I usually am starting with everyone on this journey, is how do we understand our sexuality, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and then you put it all together, and that's where it becomes magic. And that's what I find most people are really looking for. People know there's more. They know that there's more that they can access, there's more they want to experience, and that's why they come. So they might be like, oh, I want to deepen my relationship, or oh, I have some sexual misfunction. But at the end of the day, the way that we're going to navigate through that is to start to explore sexuality and intimacy in a holistic way, and to start doing some deep repatterning. And we do that through all kinds of different exercises. And I think it's super fun, because in a way it's like you're learning sex meditation. Yeah. So like, it makes meditating a really, really awesome time.
Yeah, exactly. I think more people would actually meditate if they associated this together, like sex and meditation. Wow, that's a deadly combination. But I think without making the audience wait further, let's just get straight into it.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
So we're just going to start with finding out what you're here for, and what it is that brought you here, and what you're excited about exploring today.
Well, the first and the foremost thing that brought me here is curiosity. I was intrigued by the work that I saw online, and I read some articles, and read a little bit about Tantra and sexual intimacy coaching, and I just recently turned 30, and as you know, bodies get old, souls don't. We can always remain younger at heart, but then our bodies get kind of older. So what I was looking for also is vitality. That's also a very big thing for me, that I want to really feel my sexual energy from a spiritual point of view. I really want to look at it from a different channel, because traditionally we've been taught and we've been looking at sexuality from a singular lens, but this time I want to open more doors. Here I am.
Okay, that's awesome. Fantastic. Because a lot of times when people come in, no matter what reason they come for, and people come for, they might want to get closer with their partner, maybe they want to experience deeper intimacy, maybe there's some sexual dysfunction going on, so many different reasons, but then at the end of the day, that's what I end up starting to talk with them about, is how to be able to consciously work with their sexual energy, and then starting to understand that that can really increase your vitality, it can help to expand pleasure in your relationship, it can do so many incredible things. So that's a fantastic thing to be curious about.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yes, awesome. And do you have an intention for today? So before you say what your intention is, I'll just mention about what an intention actually is. Okay?
Yes.
So an intention is not like a hard fixed goal, all right? So you wouldn't say like my intention is to, okay, so for a lot of people they come in, they might be like, I want to have better orgasms, I want to have like the best orgasms. So that's a really fixed goal, right?
Yeah.
An intention might be like, I would like to open myself to experience more pleasure, or I'd like to really explore my connection with my body. So it's a little bit more loose. It leaves room for the magic to happen the way it wants to happen.
Yeah.
So do you have an intention that comes to mind for today?
Basically, I want to be able to feel everything that we do today. That is my, intention. Like, I want to live it. I want to be as present as I can. And at the same time, as you said that, a lot of your clients come here with some of the other challenges in their lives, mostly with sexual lives or, compatibility with their partners and stuff like that. So I just want to revitalize all of those components in my personal life. So I would love to touch on all of those things, and I would like to know how an individual can benefit from this art, this beautiful art, this amazing practice that's been going on for years.
So okay, cool. So that's amazing. You're super, super open and super excited. What I'm going to take from all of that is I'm going to focus in on what you said about becoming more present.
Yes.
And what I'm going to tell you right in the beginning is that being able to be more present is going to lead to all of the other things that you were talking about. So that's perfect. All right, so we can actually go right into our first exercise. Yeah. Yes. Cool. So just go?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Okay, so this is a beginner Tantra meditation. So maybe I'll just pause here and explain a little bit about Tantra.
Yes.
We haven't really touched on that. So Tantra is a philosophy that's out of ancient India, and one of the benefits of working with it is that they have a lot of wisdom around working with the sexual energy. So working with that energy as a force for healing and learning how to move it up through the body. Okay? So this is something that a lot of people aren't talking about, don't understand. Even this idea of having a conscious relationship with your sexual energy is something that isn't really discussed. So for a lot of people, their sexual creative life force energy is going to be the lower part of the body. It's connected to reproduction, it's connected to maybe like having good desserts, pleasure, all of that. This is our
pleasures,
so that's our second chakra, is our sacral chakra, and this is our sex center. And what we want is we want to be able to take that juicy energy and move it through our whole body. Right? It's like your battery, okay? It's like a battery for your energy body, all right? And we all have this energy body that goes around us. We can't see it. I tell people, think like the magnetic field. It's there, we just can't see it. And being able to energize that and have it flowing through us creates a lot of vitality. And it creates a lot of benefits in terms of our intimate life and our sexuality as well. So what we want to do is we want to start to learn, how do we do that? How do we get in touch with that? Right? And that is a journey. Okay, so let me just start off by saying everybody's journey is totally unique. And whatever you experience today is perfect for you. You will experience what you're ready for, right? So sometimes people come in and they expect like these big, huge things. That's like, maybe you're ready for that. Maybe you are absolutely ready to have a huge, amazing experience today. Or maybe you're ready for a baby step, right? So it all unfolds very organically when we work with this energy, right? So Tantra roughly translates to mean liberation through expansion, and it's also working with polarity of your masculine and your feminine energy channels. We all have both.
Yeah.
And together, it's that energy of love. So when we're talking about alchemy of love, that's what we're talking about.
Beautiful.
All right?
I love that.
First thing that we have to do is establish a relationship with the breath.
Okay.
So breathing helps us to move our energy. It helps get us connected to our body. It helps us to shift our nervous system. A lot of us are in fight or flight, in stress mode, like all the time. That is so, so huge in terms of your ability to be present.
Yeah.
If you are in that stress state, it's going to be very hard to be present.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit for our nervous systems to come out of that,
Yeah.
and it takes regular practice.
Right.
But also, if you are excited to be able to bring it into your sex life, you might be more willing to do it.
Absolutely, 100%.
So we're going to start then with the breath, and then I will take you through the stages of the meditation because we want to make sure that you're anchored in your breathing.
Awesome.
Okay?
Perfect.
All right.
Let's do it.
So you can begin by just putting your hands on your knees, and you can close your eyes. And just start becoming aware of your breathing. Just begin by noticing your breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. Seeing if the breath wants to move a little deeper in any parts of your chest. Be offering a bit of gentle expansion here. And letting go on the exhales. Now becoming aware of the stomach. And again, noticing if there's any movement in the stomach as you breathe in and breathe out. Is the stomach feeling quite still? Or is it maybe blowing up like a balloon on the inhale?
It's blowing up like a balloon.
That's good, that's good. We want the breath to be able to go fully into the body, all the way down. And just relaxing on the exhales. Seeing if you can slow the exhale and make it a little longer than the inhale. And now on the next 3 exhales, we're just going to sound out just like this. Another one. And on the last one, you can even give your body a little shake and let out any tension. All right, awesome. Good. So that's getting us anchored into a nice, grounded, deep breath there. Mm-hmm. And now from here, we're just going to go into opening up a couple of our chakras. So we're going to open up the top of the head. Mm-hmm. So there's a white light that's connected with your crown chakra. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to guide you through. I'm going to say you can imagine this light. Whether you can imagine it or not, it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. Just allow the whole thing to wash over you. Okay? All right, so continuing with that nice deep breath. And just begin to imagine at the top of the head, there's a beautiful white light. And this white light is connected with cosmic healing energy. And as you breathe in and relax on the exhale, you can just imagine this beautiful white light is flowing down the top of the head. Now feeling this beautiful white light flowing down the sex center, down the hips, down the buttocks and the tailbone. And as you're ready, you can start to come back to the sound of my voice. Notice the feeling and the air in the room around you. Mm-hmm. Maybe wiggle some fingers and toes. Allow your body to stretch and move in any way that it wants to. can open your eyes as you feel ready. Okay, welcome back.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we're just going to take a minute here. We're just going to check in about how that part of the meditation was before we go any further.
I think it really got me in the present. And kind of put me in a different zone altogether, and in a more present state, and more in tune with my body, my senses. So that was powerful.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad that you could feel it. I heard your good breathing. Nice job. Staying with your breath. That's huge. That's so important. So yeah, we do that for so many reasons. One is anchoring in the breath, so important. Also, we did a little bit of a body scan there. So reconnecting to the body is so important, right? So as we're moving through, we're having that opportunity to be able to just feel all these different parts of the body. And then from a tantric perspective, we're opening up our crown chakra. This is connected with the divine masculine, the cosmic energy, and we're bringing that down over us. So that can be also a way to just bring some divinity into the whole experience. And it is, for me in the sessions, it's really a gateway into where we move into the sacredness and where we move into just a really different quality of presence and connection. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You did such a great job with that.
Thank you.
So we're going to go into the second part of the meditation, and this is working with our root. So do you know your root chakra at all?
No.
Okay, so let me just say we have these 7 different energy centers, right, that are connected to our body. So our root is right at the base of the spine. Okay. So this is really connected with the earth. It's connected with the feminine energy. And when we're talking about working with our sexuality, we need to go to these lower chakras. Yeah. Now, anyone out there who is in the spiritual world will probably know that there is a lot of taboo as well about our lower chakras. Like you hear people say like good vibes only. I'm sure you've heard that, right? Okay, so that's BS. And that's like one of the big things that I would love to get out there to more people. It causes so many problems. Is that there's no problem with your lower chakras. And when we're saying things like good vibes only, sometimes what's happening is people are like, oh, low vibrational energy, that's a low vibe. Well, as you go up the chakras, think like music notes. Okay, so you get like higher frequencies. But you need those lower chakras. You need to work with them. So when people start having this kind of negative attitude sometimes, then that can cause a lot of issues, that people really get stuck up in the head, and they're disconnected from their body, they're disconnected from their root, they're disconnected from their sexual energy. It all becomes shut down, it becomes repressed, and then sometimes it comes out in like really weird ways where people are very hypersexual, like they're too sexual but not in a conscious way, right? So we want to be able to really work with all of these energies and use them and use the medicine that they have to give us, and work with channeling this incredible energy, and also holding space for the sadness, for the anger, for all of it, because it's
anxieties and everything.
It's all a part of us, right? And we can't separate out and pick just the pieces that we want. And this is really important when you're working with sexual healing and your sexual energy, because as you work with it more consciously, you will face these things. So in Tantra, there's this philosophy of everything is a pathway to the divine, right? So we don't like separate out the darkness from the divinity. We go into it. We go into it with love, right? And by doing that, we're able to transform it. Right? So that's an important thing to mention. On this path, so important. So anyway, we're going to go down to working with our root now, and we're going to be imagining this red ball of energy. Now when I'm talking about imagining the energy, it's so different for everyone, okay, how we tap into this. Some people feel things in their body, some people see colors, some people don't notice anything at all. Whatever your experience is, it's perfect for you. Okay. So we're just going to go through this. I'm going to talk about this red light coming up the body. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to do an exercise that teaches you to be able to connect with your PC muscle, okay? So your PC muscle is like what you would squeeze if you're going pee and you're trying to stop, okay? So that's how you can isolate it, is you have to kind of feel that and imagine that. And if it's hard for you, it's something you can practice at home. Like it's one of the practices is you'd actually just like stop in the middle of going and just hold that muscle. All right? So that's a way that we can start really activating our sexual energy and the muscles that are all connected there, and start to be able to really reconnect consciously to this part of the body as well. Because for a lot of people, there's a huge disconnect emotionally, energetically, physically.
Yeah.
So we want to start to create really strong pathways.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll take you through it. And after we go through this, I'm going to guide you through that PC exercise and tell you how you can incorporate that into this part of the meditation. Okay?
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
All right. So again, you can close your eyes. And just coming back to your breath and coming into the body here. Relaxing on the exhales. Letting go, tuning into your inner space. You can begin to imagine at the base of the spine, just below your tailbone, there's a beautiful red pulsing ball of light. And as you breathe in, just imagining this beautiful red pulsing ball of light is flowing up into the base of your spine. And this is allowing vital earth energy to flow into your body, circulating around your tailbone, through your legs, your feet. Just breathing that energy in on the inhale, letting go on the exhale, connecting you with a sense of groundedness and stability and strength. Now as you breathe in again, then on the next inhale, just breathing that beautiful red pulsing ball of light up into your sex center. Allowing this beautiful vital energy to flow into your lower abdomen, hips, pubic bone, pelvis. Filling you with this beautiful, nourishing red energy. Activating your playfulness, your sexuality, your sensuality, and your pleasure. You can imagine this beautiful red vital energy as it flows all the way up the body and out the head, connecting with that white cosmic light at the top of the head. And you can imagine these two beautiful lights now weaving together, flowing, spiraling around each other. Imagine these two beautiful lights flowing down the top of the head, down the center of the head, down the throat and the heart, down the stomach and the abdomen, all the way down the sex center and the base of the spine, down into the earth. Just take a few more nice deep breaths here, imagining this energy flowing all the way down. You can imagine little roots flowing out the base of the spine, anchoring you deep into the earth. And as you feel ready again, you can come back to your external awareness, the feeling of the air on your skin, the sound of my voice, and start to wiggle some fingers and toes, stretch your body, and just come back, gently opening your eyes as you feel ready. All right, how was that?
Magical.
What did you notice?
there was a sudden stillness when I was doing what you were saying, and that the red light, it was guiding me towards something. It was guiding me towards my inner self. It was guiding me towards so much deeper layers of my existence, of my being. It was beautiful. There was a lot of power in there, and I loved it.
I love that. I love that. And you asked me in some of your questions about like what's my favorite part. That came up a few times. And this is one of my favorite parts. So when people can really tap into, like, I just think it's magic. And I feel like we all know that it's there and we're just not taught how to access it. And when people start feeling it and I see the excitement and I see the change in them, it never gets old. Never, ever, ever. I get tears. Like, I
can totally see it. Tear in my
which is, like all the time. I'm a crier, and I always, when I'm feeling people's hearts open, and like, it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. And that's us. That's, like you said, it's these deeper parts of who we are. And people don't realize that that's what this is about. Is it's really a journey into yourself. And then, like, with our partners, it's a journey into deeper connection.
Really, I'm just feeling so relaxed. I think since we started recording this is the first time I'm actually feeling relaxed. All that nervous energy I can see slowly withering away, and I'm getting into my senses, and as you said, getting in touch with the masculine as well as the feminine side. And that was such a beautiful point you touched there, because a lot of people out there, especially men, struggle with the acceptance of their feminine side. I've always been a staunch advocate, supporter, and embracer, if you will, of accepting your feminine side. We all have that feminine side in us, and that's something that I always admired and embraced a lot. A lot of men out there, unfortunately, shy away from accepting that there is a feminine side in them. In so many ways, we are still in a world where people are quite bullish about being a man, or being masculine, and take that. I mean, there's no harm in taking pride in being a man or a woman or whatever, but they're not able to accept that there is also the other side in you, as an existence, as an energy. It comes as in twos. So
we need both. We need both, and it's really interesting. That's a topic that I've spent so much time exploring. And so one of the things that's happened is, so there's this huge loss of the feminine, okay, for men and for women, and this doesn't get talked about, and this is so huge, and it would really bring so much harmony into our world if this could start to be understood. It has not just been a loss for women. So there's a lot of talk about women and reclamation of the feminine, and it's so important, but you have to think about the fact that all the mothers that lost touch with that could not pass that on to their sons or their daughters. And so if the men are not receiving that from the mothers, if they can't learn how to tap into their feminine in those early years, like up to 7 years old, they should be accessing that. And then they should be able to go into their masculinity from a place of having that connection to, like you're saying, like those lower chakras, right, have been strengthened and they're healthy. But a lot of men don't get that. And so then, they have a huge disconnect, right? And they don't feel like they can access that part of themselves. And it creates problems for their masculinity and for their feminine side, right? They can't be a strong, grounded masculine without access to that. And it's the same for women. Women also need to receive certain things as they're growing and developing, and they need to know how to access that feeling of safety. They need to know how to be present with themselves. And a huge part of my path was healing my masculine side so that I could support my feminine side. So these are big conversations, huge conversations.
And I read recently somewhere that even, as you said, as you touched upon the subject, that women are also sort of losing their femininity in so many ways because of the changing times around us. 50 years ago, women were not, working as much, and that's changed for good, and that's changed for the best. And now women are working, they're doing everything. Do you think that is a reason? Because I saw somewhere and I read somewhere that because women are shifting so much into what used to be predominantly male roles, do you feel that there's also a big reason why women are losing touch with their feminine side.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big part of it, and there's this misconception that women, out there have all reclaimed their power, but a lot of what's been happening is a lot of women have become, unfortunately, a version of toxic masculinity. So everybody's talking about toxic masculinity and not understanding that, again, it affects all of us. There are women out there who can be having those characteristics of toxic masculinity, just like there are men out there that can be having that, because we all need that balance of both, right? And that's not what people are being taught. And people are not being taught, how do I find my own sacred masculine and my own sacred feminine and have them in balance with each other? Instead, there's just all of this fighting and arguing and weird political things happening, and it's a mess. But the thing I'll say about that is it's kind of necessary, because we've been in a certain state for a very long time. Culturally speaking, we have been in a time that has been patriarchal. Yeah. And before that, we were in a time that was matriarchal. And one of the things on this path that I heard that really impacted me from a wonderful woman, Shakti Malan, she's passed on, fabulous, fabulous teacher. She has books. Recommend her to women out there looking for some amazing books. Look up books by Shakti Malan. She talked about there was all kinds of dysfunctions with the matriarchy, right? When we had the matriarchal dominant societies, it's not like there were no problems, right? We were in a time then of moving through our second level of consciousness, right? So our second chakra, and then we've moved up to working in the third chakra. So we're working through our issues around power, and we're trying to move towards progress and all of that for a long time, like over 2,000 years in our society. Maybe more like 5,000 even. But what's happening is we're moving up now to a new time. And this is where we're all moving up towards the heart chakra, a different level of consciousness that requires us to find balance and to understand more about unconditional love. So all of these stages are necessary. That's why I'm saying we don't want to demonize different, you don't want to demonize masculine or the feminine or any of it. We need to let go of all the stories, and we need to come into the heart, and we need to start becoming more conscious beings. So that's where we get really deep, really deep.
Yeah. So basically everything is a part of us as individuals, as beings, everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all us. Yeah. And basically what you're trying to say is that each of that elements is helping us in being the best versions of ourselves.
Absolutely. And as we do that journey, we transform the world around us, right? So when we go on that inner journey and we start to understand that, we're going to act differently in the world, right? And so it's a huge thing. Like, it's not just personal change, it's cultural change. Yeah, it's cool.
It's beautiful. Like, we can also help ourselves and other people around us, like be it our family, be it our friends, be it the wider society. Like someone like you who's doing such a great job in helping the community in so many ways, by giving it back, that whatever you've learned through this practice over the years, this is such an incredible thing that you're helping out the community, people like me, people who are more open to these kind of practices, and keeping an open mind, I think, is very important here. So that's really amazing. It's really great.
Awesome, thank you so much. It's growing, and the people who are ready will find it. Absolutely. Like, you get to a certain place, and I feel like it just becomes the next step. And people are like, I gotta find this thing now.
You also touched on chakras a lot, and I think a lot of people would not be completely aware of what chakras, like you told us what the chakras generally are, and what Tantra is, but a lot of people out there would not be knowing what are the chakras of the body. I think there are 5 chakras?
There's 7. So actually, so when I'm teaching, I don't usually go into that with people initially. If they don't already know about it, I don't even usually use the word chakra, because I don't want people to feel like, what are we doing? I don't understand. Somewhere else. So when you did that meditation just now, and we went through the red, we actually went through every chakra, but I just didn't say the names. I mentioned the solar plexus, but I mentioned some of the attributes. Okay, so there's certain psychological attributes that go along with these different energy centers. And so we talked about the feeling of security when we were at the root, so at the base of the spine. Then we went up to talking about sexuality, pleasure, and playfulness, so that would be at the second, which is here in our sex center. Then we talked about power and independence, and a little bit about strength and purpose. That would be at our solar plexus. Unconditional love at the heart. our expression and even intuition here at the throat, then getting into extrasensory perceptions here at the third eye. This is a really important part of actually the path of Tantra, where we bring that energy up and we use it to activate our higher mind. So that is basically one of those hidden teachings for so long, was that we channel that energy up and we use that for spiritual purposes and to help with the awakening process, spiritual awakening. And then our crown, which connects us with cosmic consciousness, the divine, however you want to say it, and that's up above the top of the head. And there's actually chakras that then extend down below the body and up above. But basically, they're helping us to connect to the earth and to the sky. And from a tantric standpoint, earth would be the feminine domain, the sky would be the masculine. And so we are here in the middle, and the heart is the alchemy point. So really we're reconnecting to these energies and having this whole other understanding of who and what we are. That we're really a small piece of the universe.
Yeah.
And it's all happening all inside of us every moment. And then you get really mystical really fast.
Wow, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what I like when people start doing the exercises and they start discovering for themselves. Right, like you do that one meditation with the white light and you go, wow, like I feel this, I feel that. So when I do an exercise with someone, I always will guide them at whatever level feels appropriate. We start with what feels good for the client. And then we go into, how did that feel for you? Right, because everyone takes from these exercises what they're meant to take, and every time you do them can be different. Right, so this is the beautiful thing about working with this creative life force energy, is it's going to take you where you need to go. And I can't even believe it, because on my own journey I just continue to deepen, and I can't believe how it's so deep and so amazing again after so many layers. It's so incredible. Right.
Wow, that's really amazing. That's a lot of there's a lot of things out there, and I'm just taking a minute to process all of this. Especially the chakra with the third eye. I really felt that. Like when you guided me in that way, and you told me to feel it over here in the middle of the eyebrows, and I really felt that, and I think that's such a great and powerful way of feeling. I mean, it's always there. Like basically, guys, it's just always there. It's just that you need to feel it.
It's just
you just need to awaken it. You just need to guide it. You just need to tap into that energy, which is already a part of your being.
So think of it like, you have your physical body, and we know that we have an anatomy. Well, your energy body has an anatomy. So if you're thinking about the chakras, you can think about it that way. It's like you're starting to understand, like, oh, this is this part and this part and this part, and it's always been there. It's not special. It's not just for some people. It's not only available to spiritual people. Everybody has a side to them that is tapped into this, and it's there for us to discover in whatever way is good for us. And you don't want to wake up this energy too fast. So we always do it in a very grounded way, really working on staying connected with the body, working on our breath practice, learning how to process challenging emotions and hold space for the challenging parts that come up is so important. So important.
Amazing. Okay. I love it. I mean, I know we're doing this for the audience, for people watching it. That's why we kind of expediting it, guys. But then, as she mentioned, that it's really important to have establish your own pace. To see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what is right for you, what is what might not feel right for you away. And having someone like her is amazing. And of course, she has the app, which is structured in such a beautiful way that it will guide you step by step. Alchemy of Love. It's really an amazing platform. I'm curious because you told me about the app, which is very, very recent. But then you've been doing this for 15 years. Like we spoke about it, you've been doing this for 15 years. So just tell us, how did you get into this? How did this whole story start?
Well, I think for everyone that I've talked to on this path, it often will start with something pretty dramatic. Most people I know who come to this, some come because they're curious like you, but a lot of times it's pretty dramatic. So for me, I was in my 20s, and I was actually going to school. I wanted to become a social worker. So I had been working with kids. I was super interested in mental health. And, I was also, interested in spirituality to a certain degree. But I had my own health crisis. And I had spiritual awakening that was starting to happen with me. I didn't even realize it was that at the time, but there was a really significant death that happened. I had things with my health. And so I ended up just leaving university and going on this deep dive with my own spirituality. And I had a really fast awakening. And a lot was happening. And I was getting a lot of, you talked about the third eye, a lot of third eye opening for me. And at the same time, I was healing my body, and I was learning about all of these things like chakras and learning about compassionate communication and nutrition, all of it. And then at a certain point, I was stuck, nothing was working, and I found this tantric yoga school. And I went there, I'd done so much yoga before, but I went there one class, and all of a sudden, like, I was feeling these huge shifts. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is working. This is different. I didn't know why. And from there, I ended up going to Thailand and doing a deeper dive with that Tantra yoga school. And that started the ball rolling. And I was so curious about sacred sexuality. So then I was back after that in Vancouver, and I did a deeper dive there. I met a partner who then sparked my awakening even more. And I started actually co-facilitating with him, and he was already leading some Tantra events, and I already had a facilitation background, and it just continued. Really deep Kundalini awakening, which is basically, there's this energy at the base of the spine that we can awaken. Mm-hmm. It's very connected with our sexual energy, and as it awakens, we transform and we heal. And things were happening that I could not explain, like psychic opening, all kinds of things that I don't get into talking with a lot of people about usually. But there's other people this happens for, and people reach out to me now and they tell me, this is happening, do you understand? I thought you might understand. I'm like, no, I do. You're not crazy. Like, when you tap into this deep spiritual energy, a lot happens. So from there, I ended up I got certified with a place called ISTA, International School of Temple Arts. I'd done a lot of grief work and shadow work for a number of years as well, which is a very, very important part of my path. And I think anyone who does this work needs to be doing that. And I've been out west. I moved back here to Ontario, and then I really got going in a big way with the work from there. It just unfolded one step at a time. I don't think anyone grows up thinking they're going to do this.
No, absolutely. I don't think anyone starts off young and this is what I want to be. Like, I think this is as much an inward journey as much as it is an outward journey. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I just want to ask you what's been the biggest sort of, I mean, I know it's a difficult question, but what's been your biggest change? Like, if I ask the Ariel when she started and now, if you had to say it in small, short words, like, what has been the biggest opening or change or experience?
I'm not a train wreck. I had a lot of trauma, a lot. And I actually was really, really shy, like in my teens and my 20s. Like, opening up for me was so painful and so hard. And people who know me now, oh my gosh, they're like, what are you talking about? It was the hardest thing for me. So hard and very hard. Intimacy was very, very hard for me. So they say, like, you learn to teach the thing that's the hardest for you. You become an expert in the area, that's difficult for you. And that was... And now it's the most beautiful part of my life. And I thought always, though, even though I struggled with it, I always thought it's meant to be magic. It's meant to be so beautiful. It's like the best part of life. I knew it. And it's just become the most incredible thing.
Amazing. So we were sitting for a while, and we just thought, let's just change things a little bit. Let's just take it up a notch. And Ariel here has an amazing segment which involves some dance. Ariel, do you want to tell the people what is it exactly?
Yes. So this is Sacred Rage.
Whoa.
And yes,
Rage.
Like we said, we're claiming all of these things for ourselves. So there's so much energy that is in our rage. There's so much energy that is in our grief. But a lot of times we don't know how to work with it, right? And move it through the body. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go into an exercise where we're going to work with our rage, and we're going to tap into it, and we're just going to move it through the body. And when we tap into rage and we move it, sometimes it can just transform into joy, into revitalizing us and like giving us a lot more energy. But when it stays stuck in the body, then it just can become like depression and help us like make us feel really shut down and inhibit our sexual energy flow. So we're just gonna take it back.
Yeah. So channelize it at the same time. Take it back and channelize it, and
we're gonna allow it.
Ways.
So and so with that said, it can bring up some emotions sometimes. I don't know if any of us will hit it today.
Yeah.
But just so you know, at home, if you're doing it, it's normal. You might feel a little emotional after. Maybe there's something there that you really needed to let out, and then the anger moves to tears. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Right. So this is in our app. So it's here in our Alchemy of Love app. It's in week 4, Sacred Grief and Sacred Rage. And I'm just going to go and click on the audio file here.
Apart,
and we're going to start with getting our feet
distance apart, and really feel your feet grounded on the earth. Really, you can even like bounce a little bit and drop your hips. You really want to feel that center of gravity in your core, in your hips. Feeling into your body. And then you're going to think of something in your life that you want to move, something in your life that really burns all that in your system that engages you into free and being able to come back to your heart. Not only is this good for the solar plexus, it's also good for burning away those blocks in your heart, in your aura. And then with an exhale, you drop all your weight and your arms to the side. Bring your arms up. To come back to your center. Literally imagine that you're pushing away anything you don't want in your system, like the rain fertilizing the soil, knowing that new
Wow. That was literally something else. That was a crazy energy. The collective energy of all of us. I think it was really, I was able to feel that a lot when we were doing those moves, and like it was just automatically happening. I mean, I think after a point, I was not in control. It was almost like, I just surrendered to the higher power of our imagination, of our mind, and that emotions were kind of taking control, but in a very good way, like in a channeled way, and it's as if like no one else is watching you, and you're just out there feeling what you need to feel, addressing what you need to address, just by letting your body flow, letting your body express the way you want it to express. And wow, it was incredible.
Yes, that's the somatic healing. That's letting the body lead the way.
Yeah.
And even we talk about this Kundalini energy, it has its own intelligence, and we can surrender to it, and there can be an intensity, but we can let it guide us to what needs to be released, burned away.
Yeah.
And then, you come out the other side and you're lighter, right? Yeah.
Pretty
Refreshed.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a bit of a long video, but thank you so much for staying with me. I had the best experience shooting it, and I truly hope you guys loved watching it. I hope you guys did some of those meditations. If you did, do let me know in the comments if you did that and how was the experience of doing those meditations. those conversations were really deep. We were in a flow state when those conversations were taking place. So I really enjoyed those conversations. I hope those conversations resonated with you guys as well. So stay tuned for more such videos. Don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button. Do let me know in the comments what was the best part of this video. And please stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you guys don't miss any of the future videos. Thank you so much. See you next time.